In Savannah, Georgia, jury selection will start on Monday for the men charged with killing Ahmaud Arbery. You remember him, Ahmaud Arbery, the 25-year-old man on your screen. He was shot while jogging through his coastal South Georgia neighborhood last February. A father and son, Greg and Travis McMichael, along with a third man named William Roddie Bryan, are charged in his murder. Bryan shot cell phone video of the incident. The men claim they thought he was burglarizing a home under construction in the neighborhood. The father and son each had a gun. Ahmaud Arbery was unarmed. So many things to unpack about this story, which is just disturbing to say the least. But let's get started. Joining me now to talk about it is Titus Nichols. He's a former federal prosecutor and current law professor at the University of Georgia. Titus, welcome to BNC Live, sir. It's a pleasure to have you. It took 74 days for the McMichaels to be arrested. Do you think it had anything to do with the father, Gregory McMichael's law enforcement connection?
I think that was directly related to it. If you look at the ancillary investigation that's been going on, the Attorney General for the state of Georgia launched an investigation into this. And you also have the fact that the district attorney who originally had the case, who had a working relationship with the defendants, was found to have violated her oath and her duties as a prosecutor. But the bigger problem here is the fact that not just the first prosecutor, but the second prosecutor had a conflict in the case, but never said a word. It was the second prosecutor who wrote that CYA memo that was used to justify why the defendants were not originally arrested. So you have just a cascade of failures of the criminal justice system in Georgia.
For our viewers at home who are unfamiliar, Gregory McMichael, the father, was a former police officer with the county. Do you think that could interfere with this investigation, considering the fact that the trial wasn't moved?
I do believe so, particularly when you have a criminal prosecution in a small town such as this, where it's not so much that the people know the facts of the incident, it's the fact that people know the defendants. And so when they're picking the jury, they're going to call in about 1,000 potential jurors to try to get the 12 that they need for the jury. But you have to be mindful. Who knows about the facts of the case? Who knows the defendants? Who is willing to judge the case based upon the merits alone and not try to show favoritism because they worked with the defendant or because they know of any of the defendants?
All right, so you briefly discussed the former district attorney who was actually indicted. You also spoke of the other DA who recused themselves from this case. Considering those situations that have already happened in this small town, can this local DA's office be trusted at this point?
It's because of the conflict and just general failure to do their job. That's why the case was appointed to the district attorney's office in Cobb County, which is northwest of Atlanta, Georgia. It's giving the appearance to the society, to the public, that the government's taking this case very seriously by selecting prosecutors who don't have connections to the community, who don't live in the community, and live basically on the other side of the state. While you can't predict what's going to happen, that really is the best way to show that the prosecution is going to uphold their duty and ensure that justice is carried out.
Titus, what stands out to you, sir?
What stands out to me and just the tragedy of all is just the innocent black man was hunted down and shot and killed for no reason whatsoever. He was not a threat to anybody. He didn't have a weapon. And if anything, he was hunted down, boxed in by the vehicles, and then killed when he decided to defend himself. It's an ongoing pattern of just America not recognizing the humanity of young black men.
And their defense is that they thought he was burglarizing a home under construction. And I know you can't think, and I know you can't get into their minds, but why record it? What does that say?
Because right, the third individual, Roddie Bryant White, recorded it because it's my belief is that they felt that, well, if we record this citizen's arrest, that will legally protect us so that we can show we were doing the right thing. But now it's turned out that they become witnesses against themselves because that video clearly shows that the decedent was not a threat to anybody and that he was defending himself when he was chased down by the defendants.
Yeah, and we know that citizen's arrest has been reversed. The governor did that after this killing. Will that be brought up in this trial?
The offense is going to try to find a way. They know they can't legally hang their hat on that statute, but they're going to try to find a way to say that, well, these were concerned citizens. They thought this was a criminal, so they were trying to protect themselves and others. The law is not going to support that. Mr. Ahmaud Arbery was not in the vicinity of the home. And in fact, there's no law that says the defendants have the right to detain anybody for walking through an unconstructed home. This was not a finished home. This was not a residence where there were people sleeping. There wasn't even valuable property inside of it. So even if he had walked through that construction site, they still had no legal basis for attacking him. And that's going to be the biggest issue the defense is going to have, is trying to find some way to justify the horrendous actions.
Titus, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Great insight.
Glad to be here. Thank you.